We got a huge Jets update that I'm going to break down in today's video. Make sure you guys comment down below your thoughts of this report and hit the like button on your way into the video because this is going to be very controversial, I'm sure, amongst Jets fans across the world. So let's get straight into the report. Don't forget to subscribe here to Jets Media if you're new to the channel, and I appreciate all Jets fans tuning on in to Jets Media. So this is from ESPN's Rich Cimini. I'll leave the link down below in the description. An ESPN article came out there talking about a storyline for each team across the NFL, and this is one thing that they've heard. The addition of Justin Fields, $30 million guaranteed, will not preclude the Jets from drafting a quarterback if they have a strong conviction. They will not hesitate to pull the trigger at any point in the draft. There's a lot of Jets buzz surrounding Ole Miss quarterback Jaxson Dart. Now, if you guys know me, I'm a big fan of Jaxson Dart. I've been a fan of Jaxson Dart since this whole draft process started, even during the middle of the Jets season last year when I started doing my homework on the 2025 quarterback class. And I said before the Jets signed Justin Fields, if they do sign Justin Fields, I really hope that does not stop them from drafting a quarterback. Because let's be honest, folks, I'm excited about Justin Fields, but we cannot go into the season thinking that he is guaranteed to be the long-term answer. And of course, there's no guarantee that any quarterback we draft is going to be the long-term answer. But I think the Jets would be smart to go into this season with Tyrod Taylor, Justin Fields, and a rookie quarterback, and Jordan Travis. And I know you're probably going to have to make a decision on Jordan Travis, but I feel like that's probably what the New York Jets are going to do. Now, will Justin Fields be okay with the New York Jets going out there and drafting the quarterback? Well, he better be, because he's only here on a 2-year contract and he has to prove himself. And the best case scenario for the Jets is, hey, they draft Jaxson Dart hypothetically and Justin Fields balls out. And now we have the Minnesota Vikings problem, right? The Minnesota Vikings had a quote-unquote issue last year, and it was basically that they had two good quarterbacks on the roster, Sam Darnold, J.J. McCarthy. They decided to let Sam Darnold walk in free agency, and now the Minnesota Vikings are moving forward with J.J. McCarthy. There's nothing wrong with having multiple quarterbacks on the Jets roster to try to figure out the long-term answer. The Jets have been looking for their franchise quarterback for a long, long time, so I do not think them just going into the season with just Justin Fields is a thing that they're going to do. Watch out for them to go after somebody in the NFL draft. And talking about Ole Miss quarterback Jaxson Dart, there's been a lot of buzz surrounding him, and I promised you guys that he's going to be a name that's going to skyrocket off draft boards as we go further and further into the draft process. He looked phenomenal at the Senior Bowl. He let it spin at the NFL Combine, and now you're seeing him talked about in the potential first-round category. I've seen Jaxson Dart go potentially top 10. I've seen him go in the second round. It's really lucrative to see where exactly he's going to go. It's really unpredictable is what I meant to say about where Jaxson Dart's going to go. I think the only chance the Jets draft Jaxson Dart is if they trade back into the first round and draft somebody at 7, like a Tyler Warren, Mason Graham, a Membu, someone like that, and then they trade back into the back end of the first round for Jaxson Dart. Or if he somehow falls into the second round, the Jets can take a flyer on him there. Jaxson Dart, of course, is not the only quarterback the Jets could be targeting. Apparently, they did a lot of homework on Colin McCord from Syracuse, Jalen Milroe from Alabama. I mean, there's a lot of names out there that the Jets could be interested in drafting a quarterback. So I think that Jets fans were really excited. Not everybody, but majority of Jets fans is excited about the potential of Justin Fields in this offense and what he can look like. But the 2-year contract, $30 million guaranteed, tells you that they're not inking Justin Fields here to be the long-term solution. He's here to be the bridge. And the best case scenario is that he doesn't just become the bridge. He can become the long-term answer. But I guarantee you that the Jets are not going into this thinking that, hey, Justin Fields, we're giving you the keys to the long-term solution. You are now the face of the franchise for the next decade. Like, he has to prove that, which is why I think it would be a really good insurance policy by the Jets drafting the quarterback. And I really think you break down Jaxson Dart's film, you talk about him as a prospect. I think he has a ton of upside. And I also think Jaxson Dart would benefit from sitting and learning behind a guy like Justin Fields and sitting and learning behind a guy like Tyrod Taylor for a year. So hypothetically speaking, Justin Fields is a starter. The Jets bring in Justin Fields in the NFL draft, and then Dart sits and learns behind Justin Fields, and then maybe Dart is the starting quarterback next year or maybe even 2 years down the line. This is pure hypothetical if the Jets actually draft Jaxson Dart, which we don't even know if that's going to happen because the Pittsburgh Steelers could definitely go after Jaxson Dart in the first round. The Seattle Seahawks, I think, would be smart to draft Jaxson Dart, let him sit and learn behind Sam Darnold. There's a lot of other teams that is reportedly interested in Jaxson Dart from Ole Miss, of course. And now that the Jets apparently are very high on Jaxson Dart as the quarterback position. Like, getting somebody in the NFL draft, I still think is on the table for the Jets at the quarterback spot. And I guarantee you, there's not going to be a lot of you guys that's on board with this. I think it'll be split down the middle. Some of you guys will be like, yeah, I'm down. Let's draft a quarterback. Let him sit behind Justin Fields. Then some other people will probably be like, nah, we got Justin Fields. We're good. We don't even need to draft a quarterback. Let's draft weapons around Justin Fields. Like, listen, bro, I'm a Jets fan that's 26, about to turn 27 years old on April 1st, and I want a franchise quarterback. I don't want a 1-year, 2-year thing. And listen, Justin Fields, he's young. He could prove to be the long-term answer, but I'm not going to sit here and say that I got optimism that's going to happen, because his time in Chicago obviously did not work out. He succeeded in Pittsburgh, but we don't know if Justin Fields could be a long-term solution in any franchise. So that's why the mindset for the Jets should be, hey, we're going to give Fields everything he needs to be that, but there needs to be a backup insurance policy, because if Fields starts to fizzle out and all of a sudden we're back to square one, I know some people will also say, well, Richie, the 2026 draft class is way better at the quarterback position. Why not wait till next year? Okay, draft another quarterback next year for all I care. We need to find a quarterback, folks. It's been way too long for the New York Jets to find a franchise quarterback, and to see this report that there's a lot of Jets buzz surrounding Jaxson Dart is interesting. We talked about Jaxson Dart on this channel for months now, and Rick Spielman, the new Jets advisor of the head of the football operations, he talked glowingly about Jaxson Dart. We talked about that in the video earlier in the offseason, that he is very high on Jaxson Dart. And I talked to Jaxson Dart myself at the Senior Bowl, and I saw him with my own eyes down there in Mobile, Alabama, and I came away extremely impressed. I think that his intangibles of his confidence and his ability to stretch the ball down the field, his athleticism, extremely underrated. He kind of has, you can compare his athleticism to someone like Jalen Hurts, where he's not going to be speedy like Justin Fields or take a 70-yard touchdown run, but he can pick up the yards with his legs. He also has the ability to throw the ball like 60 yards down the field at the next level, and his improvisation skills are there. But the thing about Jaxson Dart that he needs to improve on in the NFL is going to be reading the defense, being able to understand a whole NFL playbook. Those are all things that every college quarterback is going to have to figure out how to do at the next level. So you guys know me. I am one of those guys that has been a Jaxson Dart fan throughout this entire process. So I'm definitely on board of drafting Jaxson Dart, even though we still signed Justin Fields, because I still think getting an insurance policy at the quarterback position would be extremely smart for the New York Jets as we enter first-year head coach Aaron Glenn, first-year general manager Darren Muji. They need to find their franchise quarterback, and I'm not going to put pressure on them to find it this offseason, but they got to find it eventually. And why not take a swing at two young guys in Justin Fields in free agency and take another swing in the NFL draft? And like I said, it may not have to be Jaxson Dart. It could be somebody else in the NFL draft that they really figure out that they love at the quarterback spot. So you guys let me know your thoughts in the comments. This report is really intriguing to me as a Jaxson Dart fan. I'm very excited to see where the Jets go in the first round. And no, I do not think the Jets are going to draft them with the 7th overall pick. That will shock the world, and that would shock me if the Jets did that. I expect it to be more a second-round target or a trade back up into the first round, if anything. So that's my thoughts of this report, folks. Let me know yours in the comments, and let's go Jets. Love you guys. Peace out.